really magical place with amazing chai and really interesting people, events, retreats, and I was really impressed, and that's why I wanted to get involved. And my curiosity got the best of me. So I'd like to know, how did Avia begin?
Aavya began as an accident. So I came to Rishikesh about 4 years ago, and for those first 2.5 years, I was continuing to do what I was doing all my life for the last 7, 8 years. I was trading in the markets. I would also like to say I was just gambling in the markets. But I was staying at a single place called Devi Music Ashram. Very fond of that place, an amazing place. Something happened there, and it became obvious that I had outstayed my welcome there. And I asked a dear friend, Raja, if he could show me another place for me to stay. And he got me to this space here where we are sitting today. And he got me here to show a room. He's also the landlord of the building. And initially I thought that I will just take a room here for myself. I'll take a room for my friends. And that's how this started, and then thoughts started coming in, and soon Aavya happened. Just within a few days, this place started having some more thoughts than just being a room for myself.
And what were the feelings that inspired it to multiply into something bigger? Like, how did it keep growing?
That too is an interesting story. There was no inspiration for it to multiply. So it was supposed to be something very small and boutique. So just a couple of rooms for guests, a room for myself, and a yoga studio upstairs. Then there was this room where we are sitting in today, and this doesn't have the space for a washroom, and we were thinking of what we'll build in this space. And then I've always been told and had interesting conversations. Many of those were to the tune. Those conversations were so interesting that we thought that we should make a podcast of them. And one day we were sitting in this room, and the idea came for this to become a space where we could record podcasts. So this was like the first thing that happened after the first initial thoughts happened of Avyia. Thereafter, we did not want this to become something which is spreading over 4 structures. But there was this old lady sitting on top of a tree. And
Wow.
one day she called out to me, and she called out to me actually, she didn't know my name, and she called out to me, Aavya, Aavya.
Whoa.
And I look at her, and she tells me in her colloquial language, Hamri chat le lo, Hamri chat le lo. And what that means in English is, take my terrace. And it took me a few minutes to understand what she was meaning. But then she took me up to her terrace out there, which is where the pottery studio is today.
Wow.
And I went there with her, and from there I saw where we are sitting today. And it made absolute sense that this space would make this whole thing look very nice. 2 structures, and in the middle of it, there was an empty space of land. And so next 2 days later, as I signed off the space with her and her son. So it's so ironical that a 65-year-old lady sitting, I mean, that's so incredible. 65-year-old ladies usually would not be sitting on top of a tree and thinking about giving their space on rent. That happened.
Why did she say Avia to you?
She didn't know my name. She just knew that there's a space out here being built. I mean, she had been seeing me for the last 3 months. Works had been. This structure wasn't yet completed. We hadn't yet opened Aavya, really. It was just, I think, about a week before the first structure, this first building, and the first phase of this project got completed. After I signed that off, we were completing the moon spa room, which is there upstairs. And I have a friend called Param. We had taken his services to make a moon sculpture in the moon spa room. While he was doing that work, and we were just talking, and he told me that he was wishing to start a pottery studio. So 4 or 5 days after she called out to me, Avyia, happened the idea of a pottery studio happening here. And Param today runs that pottery studio. Thereafter, the next neighbors, the next landlords who are also our neighbors, they asked me that how can you take their space and not take our space? So suddenly from one structure, we became to a total of 5 structures. In most of these structures, the villagers continue to stay downstairs in their original homes. We took their terrace rights, and the whole space is connected behind, and that's how Aavya happened. It all happened by accident. Each expansion of it, or what happened within that, also happened by way of an accident. It wasn't a part of any grand vision or thought process.
And the way we met was also kind of accidental. I just came here because I heard there was like hippies lurking around here, and then I took him to the abyss. He wanted to go, just like shadow work. So that was really fun.
A lot of things with this place happened by way of an accident, so I think it was appropriate that even we met by accident.
Yeah.
And did you finally meet the hippies here?
No.
Not as yet?
Not yet.
Well, I hope they come here. The hippies have taught me so much in Rishikesh. Hippies are probably such beautiful people. I never understood what hippies meant till I came to Rishikesh.
Let's talk about, I heard this place has it seems like this place has a more unique infrastructure. Can you talk about it?
A unique infrastructure. I think this place has a unique team. The infrastructure, it has a certain design element to it. It's located on the top of this hill in Tapovan. And that makes it unique, the way it's cocooned between the mountains and the forest behind us. The design kind of followed what is there to our surroundings. We've tried to use as many as possible natural materials. We couldn't use everything natural, but what is unique about the architecture or the infrastructure of this place is the team which is running this. They are a set of artists, teachers, musicians, dancers, tarot readers, therapists. That's the team. They not only do the facilitation of the various things out here, they also help us run it. That's quite unique about the space.
It seems like it attracts a lot of unique people. I've met some. They seems to attract people that are not just the regular tourist. This is really refreshing to create a space that attracts such people as this.
Thank you.
Yeah. I would like to know what mysteries are in the back of your head.
Mysteries that are in the back of my head.
Like things that have yet to be revealed to you that you're curious about. Could be anything.
There is no very big mystery, but life itself is a mystery if one thinks of it. Or life is a puzzle, actually. And that's what Aavya is. So it's a mix and match of several things. It's an ever-evolving thing. There is no 2-year, 3-year, 5-year business plan. There's no plan of exactly what we'll be doing 3 months from today, 6 months from today. That will remain a mystery, even in my own mind, more so even to outsiders. The mystery is more in the element of the kind of magical people that come here. How that happens is a mystery. And I hope I answered your question in that.
Yeah. Tell me about your greatest influences in your life.
The greatest influences in my life. I have some very dear friends that I've met here in Rishikesh. Many of them, usually when people talk about people who are influencing you, people talk about people who are senior to them and who have 10, 20 years more senior to you, more years under their belt, several decades of experience. The greatest influences to me have actually been some of the youngest people that I've met. And some of my teachers have usually been half my age. And they've had such a big influence in my life. When I came to Rishikesh, I was feeling old, haggard, and unfit. The young people who were there on their yoga journeys, their spiritual journeys, they knew how to be calm, they knew how more to connect to their bodies. They were so interested in art, they were so interested in yoga, they were interested in spending time by the Gangaji. They have really influenced me so much. There was this young girl, I don't even think she was 25 years old, Marcy, she was from Singapore. For the brief couple of months that I spent time with her, she taught me so much, her level of understanding about being in the moment, about yoga practice. Then there's Nick. Nick is a 30-year-old Texan and a yoga teacher and very deep into his own practice of bhakti yoga. He taught me so much about my own patterns of behavior. Not that they have changed too much since then. I still remain having some of those patterns. Some of them may not even be the best for me, but kind of made me realize my patterns in life. Then I could go on about this. I actually once started writing a book. Big book was supposed to be autobiographical. 6 months of me being into Rishikesh. I already thought I had a story to say about. Have moved out from the corporate and business world in Bombay, and now I was living in Rishikesh and suddenly thinking of myself as some spiritual person and a yoga person or who had a story to say. But I started writing a book and I said it wasn't really about me. That book was to be about all the various people that I've met in Rishikesh. I don't think one book would be enough. All of these people have been, so the book was going to be about each of these people whom I met, what made them unique, what from their life kind of resonated with me, did I learn something from them. So I would not say that I have had any one big influencer in my life. If one looks before Rishikesh, one of the greatest influences in my life is my father. He was one of the kindest people ever. And someone with so much dignity, care. Wasn't the smartest businessman in the world, but he was deep into his spiritual practices, making the offerings to God, feeding the cows, buying fruits for the entire family, and was quite happy-go-lucky even when he did not have money, and was always kind. So he continues to remain a big influence to me.
Yeah, and I would love to hear one of those stories from the book that you thought about writing in the book. Can we hear one?
Sure. Which one should I? Let me talk about a set of friends that I had, and let me talk about a person called Raja. Raja is, he's also the landlord of this building. Such a amazingly gifted singer. He plays the flute like a dream. His meditation, he used to play the flute and take me into a world of meditation. From him I've learned so much about, I'm by nature a very hyper person. As a business person, I always had major goals, but he taught me things about how to be calm, how to be in the moment, how to be able to really connect with music. He has and continues to remain a big influence to me. I still meet him every day.
Wow. What does the future hold?
There is no real future. There is no big desire. I wish to continue exploring what life is about. It's been the daily things that you learn out here about life, the new ways that you learn how to connect to music, how do you connect with your body, how do you connect with people, how do you have a space which feels comfortable, feels like home, which has magic. These are all things which are there today, they will be there in the future. How my journey goes will be influenced by all these beautiful people, circumstances, things which happen.
Oh, yeah.
There is no major future goal. I think the more one thinks about the future, it kind of makes one believe that where we are today is lacking in something. So I would rather, and I don't say that I'm completely living in the present or in the moment, but I also try to not have too many dreams about the future, exactly what's going to happen, and how exactly Aavya is going to take shape, how exactly my own yoga journey takes shape. So there's no major vision of the future. Just like Aavya happened, it did not have a dream or a vision. It happened by way of accident. And we just keep ourselves open every day to possibilities which happen, people that we encounter, and then magic happens. And I understand that you are a magician, correct?
Yeah.
So you happened to come here and that was magic itself. So every day new things happen, some beautiful people come into your lives, and it's such a pleasure to meet them, to hear their stories, to see how they approach yoga, their spiritual journeys, what keeps them happy. That's the magic of life.
Yeah. I want to hear about your yoga journey.
When I came to Rishikesh, it was basically, I came here for a break. I did not know that I was going to stay in Rishikesh. A few days, a few weeks later, I started to question. I came here, I thought I would be coming here for about a week to 10 days. It soon became a few weeks, and but started questioning whether I ever wanted to live in a city again. I was loving it out here. Yoga didn't come into my life. Yoga, I would have actually read I had a very good collection of yoga books. And my theoretical knowledge of yoga was very good before I came to Rishikesh. Probably I read 50 yoga books when I used to live in Bombay. After I've come to Rishikesh in the last 4 years, I've probably read 3 or 4 books on yoga, that's it. And the first 1 year, I was quite unfit those days. I was about 25 kgs more than what I am today. Initially, my yoga was walking around. I was constantly checking on my pedometer and seeing whether I had done 12 to 15,000 steps a day or not. Walking uphill and downhill. Suddenly I started losing some weight, started feeling fitter. The yoga journey started approximately a year later. I had gone to Dharamkot, I had an ankle fracture, and I came back here to Rishikesh with the broken ankle. Once the cast was removed, a friend of mine, Preet, she referred me to Nick, who remains one of my dearest teachers and friends. He started teaching me yoga. It was a different kind of a yoga. It was kind of a yoga of where he was teaching me the attitudes that one should be having during the practice. Like when I used to do a small pull-up, and I used to say, wow, that felt so intense. And he used to tell me, why are you using the word intense? That means your intention should be second nature. If you do it, give it a smile and let it pass. It was what you were anyway supposed to be able to do. Or when I was trying to do the 5th push-up, and I used to do like this on my face. Oh! He's saying, keep your face calm. That's what, do as much as you can do, or do even beyond what you can do, but still keep your face calm. Those few small suggestions that he used to give me is what kind of taught me yoga. Until today, I have not learned asanas in depth. There are a few things which I know, but it's the way that you do it that is more important than how much you know and how deep your practice and knowledge is of yoga. I would still say that I'm quite a beginner in yoga.
What should people expect coming to Aavya?
Avyia is a space where you'll meet some beautiful people. You'll be connected to nature. And I cannot promise it that it'll always happen. But since Avyia was being built, there's almost every day something which feels magical in my mind that has happened here. And chances are that if you come here, you may experience some magic, or meet magical people, or have magical experiences.
Yeah. Is there any questions you want to ask me or anything else you want to talk about?
Could you share a little bit more about your magic?
My magic started with lack of control. I had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening where I went to a lot of different worlds, a lot of different states of consciousness, a lot of different, like walking in my unconscious, my subconscious, like just the complete chaos, and really wanting to go back to those states because I left them and back into the normal world, and I want to be able to re-experience those because they were so beautiful and they were also very terrifying. To be in a place that is unlike anything you've ever heard about, you've ever seen in your entire life. You don't know what these beings are, you don't know what this place is. I never want that to happen again. I want to know what I'm talking to. I want to be able to be in charge of my mind, be in charge of my body, and be in control of what happens to me. So I feel like magic for me is about not leaving one's life up to fate, but taking your fate, taking your destiny in your own hands, and being able to master one's being, not leaving things up to chance, unless you so will it. And it's about the strengthening of one's will, the strengthening of one's individuality, but it becomes less egoic in that you have an intention to dive into the deeper parts of the self and to remove the masks. So it may become something on the outside that is very superficial or materialistic, but as you go deeper into it, your masks start to burn away. And so the magic increases in its curiosity, power, and mystery too. So magic for me is life, and it's about being in between worlds, being in between the human world and being able to see all the staff that's behind the scenes. Just like the staff at Aavya, I think that this whole universe has so many different beings and energies that we have no idea. I mean, even science, there's so many different molecules and things happening. We have no idea, but they're making this whole show happen. And I'd like to get more intimately acquainted with all of those things that are behind the scenes and help make this show a success for more and more beings, because I feel like on Earth we seem to be making a small amount of people a lot of success, and then we seem to not be we make a lot of people, they lose a lot of success. And by success I mean like well-being, and I mean like beauty, and I mean like there's a lot of things that I think could change. So that's why I side with strengthening my will. Thank you for asking.
Let me talk about one magic which I just saw day before yesterday, and that involved Lugal too. What is the probability that two people are going to talk to you about you being like an octopus, and that you should be connecting to your fathers and ancestors? So Lugal mentioned it to me, and this other friend, Alethia, who's currently teaching me yoga, a young 25-year-old woman from England. And both of you are mentioning me to be like an octopus and asking me to connect to my father and ancestors just on a single day. I found that to be something of such low probability. It was like 1 in a million chance that someone's going to talk to you about an octopus. Forget talking to you about an octopus and connecting to your father on the same day. So these are the kind of things which happen like magic. Did the two of you all meet and discuss that you were going to talk to me?
No. Well, you bumped into the right person. It's going to get weirder and weirder in a good way the more you hang around me. So.
Such amazing things happen.
Yeah. So I really appreciated y'all who joined the show. If you've been to Avyia before, please consider coming back. If you've never heard of Avyia, please check out the retreats and the cafe and all the exciting people. Do some pottery, film your podcast, meditate, and they have this really amazing place when you go up that's like on the mountaintop. And it's really good location. It's placed by all these yoga schools where you can do drop-in classes, and it's a little bit quieter. I've been staying in Rishikesh for over 3 months. This is my favorite place in Rishikesh because of the type of people that come here. The rooms are really nice. The food, I was also very impressed by the food. They were literally toasting the chai ingredients right in front of me here, and it was like smelling so good. There's a very good ambience, a very good vibe. I feel like you can tell how high quality a place is and how good the lighting is. And they had like this really interesting one of those old-fashioned lights, and they covered it so that it wasn't too bright. So it's really good for people with an aesthetic taste who want a little bit quieter side of Rishikesh, because a lot of people have problems with the noise. So it's quieter, and there's dancing. There's so much here. I mean, it's a creative person's dream. You can also host a retreat here, so please consider enjoying some of these places. Treat yourself. If you're interested in dabbling in spirituality, come out here, take some friends, have a relaxation, really soak it in, because I've never seen any place like this in India. So, yeah, and subscribe, like, share. If you have any suggestions for the podcast, who we should have on the show, what we should talk about, if you have any questions for Ashish or for me, we would love to answer those. We will read the comments. And namaste, namaskar from Avyia in Rishikesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. And check out my channel, Lugal's World. All right, bye now.